Greetings and salutations. So, I've been told that maybe I should have an introduction video to my channel by some people, mostly my wife. So first and foremost, welcome to my channel, Kentucky Rex. As you can probably tell, I am indeed from Kentucky. Forgive my nasally voice, I'm getting over something. And of course, forgive my shaky appearance and the terrible facial hair because I know it's embarrassing and terrible. I promise I'm doing it for a good cause. Um, but anyways, welcome to my channel. Um, if a lot of people wish to know things about my channel, and one of the first things I notice is the weird little avatar guy. The weird little avatar guy is actually my mascot for the Mortal Coil, which was what I originally started to call my campaign setting that I set out for a particular group of players that um, were mostly forever GMs. But called it Mortal Coil simply because this was the first game in which I didn't run Resurrection, and I was pretty lenient on what constituted death, but of course they died first thing, first session one, TPK. But it happens. That is with the game. So, and we will talk about that a little bit more. So, anyways, so the little guy, he's not supposed to be a devil or a demon. He's supposed to be like, I started with this idea of a Grim Reaper, and by the way, I'm no artist, but I started with this idea of a Grim Reaper, and then I put horns on his head just because I was just having fun with the design, and I put the number one on his forehead because if you take a look at a 20-sided die, the side is a triangular shape, and one, of course, in TTRPGs is typically a very bad number. So, anyways, that is what that is. But anyways, as I said again, welcome to my channel. Uh, my real name is Brandon. Rex is actually based on T Rex, which is my work nickname that I've had for 10 years. Uh, but as you can tell, I'm from southeast Kentucky, uh, born and raised in the Appalachian Plateau. Um, a lot of people, uh, some people like the sound of my voice, some people hate it. So, whatever. It's so funny when I hear people talk about my my accent. It's a dialect, but uh, because in my opinion, mine is more muted than what I'm normally used to. But as you probably tell from some of the videos you may or may not have watched, yes, I have a big old banjo tattoo right here, and you probably also see my banjo videos. So yes, I do play. Yes, I do pick. I love music. I love games. I love reading. Uh, it's what it's what I like to do in my free time. Uh, I run most of what you're going to see on my channel features around a tabletop role playing game called Basic Fantasy Role Playing Game. It is by Chris Gonerman, and it is based off of the Moldvay Basic and Cook Expert sets of Dungeons and Dragons from the 80s that were very prominent, that were originally meant to get players ready and set for advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Gary Gygax's stuff. But Gygax also wrote stuff for Basic and Expert as well. So, uh, you have those guys. If you need to know a little bit more about myself, I'm sorry, I'm still getting over something, so I still have that nasally thing. So I apologize. I know that sounds disgusting. I apologize. I really do. I'm a father, a husband, and I'm a Christian. I'm actually a Sunday school teacher for my local congregation. I teach the adults. Uh, I've been a Christian since I was 19. Um, so, fun fact, I've actually been baptized twice in my life because I was raised in a Holiness Pentecostal setting in which baptismal regeneration was the ideal thing. If you must know what particular denomination I am, I'm actually what's called a particular Baptist. It's a very Calvinistic, Trinitarian, a millennialist kind of kind of outlook what I have. I'm very conservative, so politically, I'm not exactly going to be on the side of liberals or liberalism. If you happen to be a liberal and you watch my channel, welcome. You may stay if you wish. But of course, I have my own views. I try to attempt in some of my reviews and things like that to keep my politics to myself. But really, when it comes to like when I design my stuff, like design my game settings and talk about video games and stuff like that, like of course I'm going to go through my worldview, which is a conservative Christian Trinitarian worldview. So if you want to hang around, feel free. What else can I think of? I like Tolkien. I like Lovecraft. I read a lot of books. Uh, I like Brian Lumley. I like Ramsey Campbell. As you can probably tell, I'm naming off a lot of fantasy, weird fiction, horror kind of guys. So that's basically the gist of it. Robert Howard, you know, Robert Jordan, uh, Brandon Sanderson, Orson Scott Card, even Isaac Asimov. You wouldn't think I would be down with him, but I actually am. I do like the Foundation trilogy, but um, you I'm just kind of one of those guys that like I leave well enough alone with people. Like I'm nobody for whatever reason. I've got this weird little following of fellow geeks that for whatever reason like to listen to me every week. And I acknowledge them. And of course, as always, I give special shout outs. We got Retro DM, right? He's another YouTuber. He's a subscriber to my channel, and I appreciate him. Um, I've got Brian, who is one of my players, and of course, Fred. Fred was a very, very, very early supporter uh, of my basic fantasy stuff. And you know, we got guys like James and I mean, everybody knows who they are, and of course, I don't like to name drop because I always feel bad because I know I'm leaving somebody out, and I apologize. Obviously, if I could remember every name, I would. But to each and every one of my subscribers, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You've actually grown my channel far beyond what I thought it was ever going to be. Um, I As you probably tell, I'm not very good at words. Despite the fact that I'm well read, I trail off all the time. Um, but I like games in general, really, role playing games, be they tabletop or be they computer video games. I love them. Although I'm more, especially now that I've gotten more deeper into the hobby, I'm more inclined to be given towards the tabletop aspect because there's just so much stuff that you could do there that you can't do in a computer game. You just never, and you never will be. Excuse me. Because the simple fact of the matter is that you need that human element, this interaction between the game master and the players, in order to even have an intriguing setting, an intriguing story. It may not happen right off the bat. Rarely does it ever, because it's something they can't really just plan for. But as time goes on, you will be able to fish things out from how the characters have interacted with the world and each other. And, it just how the world interacts with them, how monsters react to them. You throw some dice, see how they react, and okay. Um, if anybody got surprised by anything, they get a free attack. So, but really, I try my best uh, to remain unbiased in a lot of my stuff. But of course, maintaining an unbiased opinion consistently is impossible because we are all human. And so, I guess as I get ready, because I'm starting to ramble, um, I guess in closing, I just want to say thank you. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for giving me a listen. If you decide you don't like what you see here, I'm sorry. I apologize. But for all those who do stay, thank you for your support. Uh, and I guess before I get off, I do want to implore, because I actually do plan on having a 24-hour Bloodborne stream at some point in the near future for this. Um, I do want to urge people to uh, donate to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It's something that I care about deeply. I hope and pray that I will never need their services one day, but just in case, I'm thankful that a lot of people are thankful that this kind of organization exists, and they get behind donations, and there's plenty of wonderful charities out there that do the same thing as them, by the way, so it doesn't necessarily have to be them, but I've chosen St. Jude's Children's Hospital for who I want my support going to. And this is why all the really cruddy facial hair. This is why, like, this is going to be a wig when I grow it out all the way. Like, so I'm not there yet. I got to get it out to like 10 inches. It's going to be a wig for a kid. So I care about that deeply, and we always hope and pray that our loved ones never get cancer. And of course, uh, the simple fact of the matter is, a child getting cancer is a parent's worst nightmare. The fact of the matter is that there are parents out there right now that probably had just got the bad news that they never wanted to hear, and they've gone into the nightmare. And I believe, not only as a human being, but as a Christian, um, first and foremost, that God commands us to help each other out, to help bear each other's burdens, and of course, helping to bear the burdens in the care of a child. Cancer is a very expensive disease, let alone the fact that oftentimes it doesn't have a happy ending. But we can help make this journey, as hard as it may be, easier for parents out there. So this is why because this is actually probably the closest hospital in my neck of the woods that does this. So still quite a few hours away from me, but be that as it may, I've chosen to support them, and I will be imploring and essentially advertising people to give to them. So if you decide you want to give to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, you can of course look them up on Google, but I will be posting links in a lot of my videos, and especially on the stream, uh, whenever I eventually do it. But as always, guys, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for hearing me ramble for 13 minutes now. So, as always, take care. God bless. See you on the other side.